Good morning. All right, today's project, I'm gonna make a whole three-dimensional Olaf all out of propane tanks. Just to give you an idea, I'll show you the picture right here. But yeah, I'm set up. I got a tank right here ready to, I'm gonna wire brush it down because they're out in the rain. It's nasty. They've been out here forever. Just a word of advice before we get started. I get all these tanks from a local scrapyard. The valves are already pulled. They've been sitting there for a long time waiting on me. I'll show you ways to check these. I'll show you ways that I check these. I don't recommend, for liability reasons, anybody doing any of this stuff. This is just how that I do it, and I do it safely. I was trained 30 years ago on flammable vessels, welding and cutting, all that kind of stuff. If you're super worried, you can purge them with argon. The way I do it, I don't got to worry about it because, like I said, the valves have been pulled. They're full of rainwater. I've been emptying them out over the weekend. Anyhow, long story short, I'm going to clean this up with a wire wheel. I use shipping labels, 8.5 by 11 shipping labels that are stickers, and then I'll use scissors and cut off the extra what I don't need. Stick them right to that with stickers, and then I spray it with water and I start plasma cutting them out. You could probably get away with a grinding wheel on some of them, or the smaller grinding wheels that I save. You could probably get away with doing that, but I'm gonna do this one with a plasma cutter. And I'm gonna show you how I build them, but I got whole hands for holding the head up off the tank. I got some smaller tanks for the feet. Actually, I've got 3 different types I'm doing today. You can see I've got 2 of them already done, old from inventory. One with the threads cut in the bottom, one with the threads cut in the top and a hole cut out of the bottom. It doesn't, any which way you do it doesn't really matter. I'm doing this one with the threads in the top because one of these, I built a outdoor gazebo. It's actually for romantic dinners, but I'm gonna use it to travel and advertise my channel here. So I'm gonna have a bunch of different sculptures holding the top of the gazebo up. But yeah, let's just get right into it, get rolling, make sure you have good ventilation. I'll show you that I check them for flammability. Again, I don't recommend you do it this way. It's safe enough for me, but the good Lord looks after his dumb little buddy all the time. So I don't really worry a whole lot. He gets me through everything I need. But yeah, you can print all of my jack-o'-lantern type things can be cut this way. You can do any kind of jack-o'-lantern, and I recommend if you're going to set up and do it, go ahead and get a big snowflake or any kind of a Christmas ornament painted, or not painted, on the sticker, and you can cut one on each side, paint one half orange, one half white, and then I'll show you a picture if I can find it right here of the multi-use. That way, as soon as Halloween's over, you turn it around, boom, boom. I did the same thing with that sculpture of Jason Voorhees, which switched to Jack Skellington the day after Halloween. So now I'm in the Christmas season. So all these ornaments, decorations are multi-purpose. But yeah, enough talking. Let's just get rocking and rolling. The coffee's kicked in. Yeah, let's kill this thing. All right, this is not the recommended way to do this for anybody but me. What I do, I put a piece of brake line onto an air chuck, and I'm gonna stick it in the bottom, get it blowing, feel the air coming out, try to light it. Hillbilly 101. All right, here we go, we're all set up. If you're wondering why I'm wearing 2 different gloves, first of all, I've crushed his hand, I broke his hand so many times I can't hardly use it no more. So I'm gonna use this one to protect it, all that. But I've got my self-stick shipping label on here, spritz it with water, and I'll do that a couple more times as I go. Let me get my exhaust fans turned on and I'll get to cutting. just to show you the different options, because I had the Jack Skellington needs to be shown. Cut it the same exact way. We use the Jack Skellington with the shipping labels. That's all these are, self-stick shipping labels. You see how that was tearing up. Gives you an eyeball where you're going, keep it wet. There's this style. I got one coming up with and I'm gonna finish out the Jason Voorhees. If you're good at drawing, which I am not, and that's how I came up with the way to print these stencils out, these whiteout pens, correction pens, they are the greatest thing going because the heat doesn't get rid of them. So you can come in, draw it out, or if you even had a plastic stencil, you could trace it out with that. And these will hold up to the heat. I keep these in my vest. Well, you see right here, I've got one still in my vest. I see another one laying on the bench. I keep these all over the shop. Whiteout correction pens for the win. What I'm gonna do next here, there's 3 welds, so I'm gonna knock these off of this, the handles, but also these tanks that I got had the valve cut off, and I tried to ease it out so nothing's getting to the budge, so I'm gonna slice these out, take the grinder with the cutoff wheel, and I'm just gonna cut one slice straight down in until that breaks free. Since I'm not using this for a pressure vessel or even truly structural integrity, I'm gonna do that. This way I can thread the 2 tanks together. And so yeah, let's just get started here. I'll get wrapped up and everything's situated. All right, here we go. 3/4 inch close pipe nipple. This one's pretty tore up. I gotta go to town and get a couple more, but yeah, there we go. It'll work. All right, I'm gonna draw a straight line up it. I've got these 2 tanks. I'm just gonna take a piece of angle iron. Where it falls out, it falls out. The straight line can be arbitrary. Separate the distance. We'll center that out. Center that one out. And we're gonna have one right here on the weld seam. And we'll center these out too. One, 2, 3 holes. 1, 2 holes. Whiteout pen. It's the way to go. All right, I'm gonna start ruffle assembling before I put the feet on it. I've got a 3/4 inch close pipe nipple here. All right, moving on to the hands here. These are some old inventory that I had, so I'm gonna go ahead and reuse them, or keep using them, I should say. I have one more set of hair to make for a different tank I'm doing. But what I've got here, this is 5/8 rebar and this is 1/2 inch rebar, and you can use whatever you got. That's exactly what I did. I just wanted the hands and arms to be a little bit bigger. I cut 45s on everything, where these junctions are just 45s. And I also cut 45s on each of the hands. That way they would come into the tank and I can bend them around and you'll get to see me how I bend them. But yeah, these are roughly 15 inches long. Let me see if this one might be better. 15 that way. And then to the long side, 4 inches on each of the fingers, and the little thumb is 2 1/4 inches long. Just how I laid it out. And the hair, which you'll get to see how I bend the hair around. I just opened the vise and beat it with a hammer. But yeah, what we got here? Looks like 8 3/4 inches on the right side of the hair. The one dead center, it's gonna be about 11 1/4. And that one's 6 3/4. And looks like 3 1/4. Just little bends to them is all it is. Don't overthink it. All right, here we go. Here's how I get the bends in this. I'm gonna do it all cold, and I'm gonna do it right over the center of the post of this vise here. It's not ideal, but that's the way I've done it for years, and that's the way I'll continue doing it. I guess I'm open at 3 3/8 of an inch. I just eyeballed it. So on the first center one, I'm not coming at a 90 off of it. I'm coming in at a bit of an angle here. Probably, I guess let's call it a 22 and a half if you're super stuck on needing a number, 22 and a half degree angle. I'm just kind of eyeballing things here. So it's center line to the front this way, and then I'm gonna go center line, actual center line to the back here, so it'll be staggered. Just try to get the curves to match a little. Just the same as on the hair to get these curves, because I'm just looking for like a curved, a feel of sorts. I went ahead and opened up the Lordy B. Where'd my tape measure go? Right in front of me. I'm getting tired. Looks like I'm at 4 inches. 4 inches even. Let's see if that's the effect I'm looking for. And let's just go for it. Make sure 45 is coming, because here's the body, and there's where 45 is going to hit, but it needs to curl back to the head. All right, what I've done here, I've gotten the buttons, I guess we'll call them, the cold lumps or whatever the heck you'd call them, lined up top dead center and the face top dead center. Then I brought these in and spaced round about to where I thought a shoulder joint would go, and where that I would want this, where I think he should be holding his mouth out at it. And I think in my mind it's right in here, looks good. I just realized I don't like this lip right in here, so I'm gonna knock this off real quick and keep right on rolling here. But yeah, that's all I did, because it was to balance, to pull, let the table do the work. It'll hold it in place. I can eyeball these, get them where I want them, make it easy to go. All right, the way I cut these 45s, or actually bent the hands with the 45s, I was the opposite out of what I needed. I don't know what I was remembering. But the way these go, I need to slice it back at a 45. So I'm just gonna come where it meets, slice it back at a 45-degree angle, and get to welding on it. My bad. All right, here we go. Buttoning up the last of the details on Olaf. The reason I cut these 3 holes in the back so I can add these solar lights. These are just the cheap $5 ones from Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't remember Home Depot actually. But what I'm gonna do with these, just take the top off like you're supposed to. You can throw the rest of that away. Pull the battery piece out. You can see this is big enough. Now it doesn't sit exactly flush because of the shape of the tanks. It'll work though, because I'm gonna take some silicone around the base of it here. And stick that on so it's centered. Like I said, it's gonna hang over at certain places, that's fine. Just making sure that the light, yep, there we go. We're good and centered.